Dear Western audiences, what is happening in Gaza today is not exceptional. This is business as usual for the Israeli state or Zionist entity. Why have you begun to see the truth now, you might ask yourself? Has it taken you by surprise? For almost a century, Arabs were routinely dismissed when we discussed the Palestinian case. We were called irrational, overly dramatic, religious zealots, racists, hell-bent on oppressing the oppressed. It is only the explosion of activism on social media, specifically Black Lives Matter, that has pierced through this empire of lies perpetuated by the Zionist organizations and the state of Israel itself. With BLM, Black Lives Matter, the entire system maintaining narratives that privilege white people in the media, state, and society were laid bare. We started to use a vocabulary meant to reframe and dismantle this hegemony of white narratives. And when you put words to things, you start to see them. Now, this exact vocabulary was applied to what was done to the Palestinians. Settler colonialism, apartheid, structural racism, ethnic cleansing, extermination, gaslighting, most of all. Just ask yourself one question. Why is it all of the historically oppressed minorities? Why is it the minorities fighting for the Palestinian cause? What do they understand about the oppressor and his methods that you don't? You grew up in a world which privileges white narratives. Think of why you don't think of the Holocaust of the Roma and Sinti as equal to that of the Ashkenazi Jews. Think of why you don't think of the Holocaust of the Congolese, 10 to 15 million killed under the Belgian King Leopold, as equal to the Holocaust of the Ashkenazi Jews. I'll tell you why. It's because you grew up in a world which privileges white narratives. Not only that, but those who engineered the Zionist project weaponized that. And they have built very powerful institutions across state, media, which maintains this empire of lies. Think of the one institution in the United States which reports on anti-Semitic events, the Anti-Defamation League, or ADL. It classifies criticism of the state of Israel as anti-Semitism. Think of Canary Mission, an anonymous Zionist organization which works with the Zionist fake charity, the Brandeis Center, to dox students associated with the Free Palestine movement on American campuses. Free speech? What free speech? Just think of the influence of AIPAC, the American Israel Public Action Committee, on the livelihoods of American politicians. Not one can survive without their approval. Don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking the truth is a trope. That is just another scare tactic meant to divert the truth and maintain this empire of lies. You're seeing real life now because Black Lives Matter crashed through during a pandemic, and their biggest activists are now amplifying Palestinian voices. We showed you that Jews actually lived with Arabs in relative stability for millennia. The pogroms and holocausts against the Jews in Western Europe were not to be found on our lands. We showed you that the Jews that are fighting against this monstrosity being waged in their name, from Jewish Voices for Peace to members of the Orthodox community. We continue to show you how your media, your politics, and your narratives dehumanize and erase an innocent people, the Palestinian people. And we laid bare the racist narratives which underpin this dehumanization. We contextualize the state of Israel for you for the first time. We've highlighted the absurdity of alleging that what they've been waging is a war of self-defense. What self-defense? When pre-Nakba, the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians that underpinned the founding of the Israeli state in 1948, until now, until settler violence, routine extermination, continuous land grabs, continued bombing, open-air prisons, concentration camps, there is no self-defense. This war has been purely offensive. We laid bare the bones of the Zionist propaganda machine and the terrifying sums that keep it lubricated. The Palestinian side doesn't have this money. We're armed only with the truth. And we must continuously fight for your attention to prove it. Western people, it is your governments that support the apartheid state. Our objection doesn't count. It is the imperialists of the West who maintain the imperialism in the Middle East until today. Every single one of the wars that the US or the West has participated in the Middle East has been done under the banner of bringing peace to the region. What peace can be brought about, dear West, if the most oppressive, the most destructive force, state, lie in the region is your staunchest ally? It is a thorn in the side of peace in the Middle East. Look, we have no faith in your political leaders. They're bought and sold, and I'm sure you know this as well. We depend only on you and your democratic societies to use that tool of democracy to kick them out and show them that your money, your efforts will not buy dead children any longer.